Hi everyone. Have you ever read in A Course in Miracles? For those of you who are practicing Course in Miracles, and for those of you who may have never read A Course in Miracles or heard of A Course in Miracles, have you ever read the part where Jesus talks to you about his function and about his role? And it's so beautiful. Um, he says, "I'm in charge of the at-one-ment." Right? He said, and the way he says it, he says, "I stand at the end of time in case you temporarily fail." Right? And I want to read a couple of lines to you because it's so incredibly beautiful and so incredibly personal. And definitely for those of you who are practicing A Course in Miracles know how personal it is, right? He's always talking to you. He's not talking to anyone else. He's not talking to the world. He's talking to you within your own mind. Can you see? And I see if I can get uh, through this without getting emotional because this is so beautiful and so this touches you deep in your core if you're open for it, right? If you're defending yourself strongly against the light, it may not. Huh? But for those of you who have a sufficient openness and awareness and are undergoing your own spiritual transformation, right, and awakening, this talks to you and your function in the overall plan. Listen to this. It says, I am come as a light into a world that does deny itself everything. It does this simply by dissociating itself from everything. Love that, right? It is therefore an illusion of isolation maintained by fear of the same loneliness that is its illusion. What an amazing idea that the only way you can stay here is if you keep dissociating yourself from everything, right? And how do you do it? Fear, right? Fear. It's like fear disassociates yourself from everything and everyone around you. Amazing. I said that I am with you always, even unto the end of the world. That is why I am the light of the world. I love that, right? Who is he talking to? He's talking about himself in his own function, perfectly aware of his unity with you, and the process that you are currently undergoing is the same process he underwent 2,000 years ago, but that was just a moment ago. 2,000 years is not a very long time. Can you see? That was yesterday. That was a moment ago. Time is a sleight of hand, right? Love it. If I am with you in the loneliness of the world, the loneliness is gone. You cannot maintain the illusion of loneliness if you are not alone. I love, listen, this is what I love about this. Like, right, the unequivocal nature of these teachings. I mean, it's, right, we're not trying to compromise, right? This is the way it is. Love that. My purpose then is still to overcome the world. I love it because he has overcome the world. What is it? He equates his purpose with yours, right? You are overcoming the world, and therefore it's his purpose because he doesn't see your purpose as any different than yours. You may, right? But he doesn't because he knows who he is. Can you see? And for those of you who know who you are, you'll know that your purpose and his purpose are the same. What? There's only one Son of God, right? How could you possibly have a different purpose? Not. I do not attack it, but my light must dispel it because of what it is. Light does not attack darkness, but it does shine it away. I love that. How do you overcome darkness? Shine it away. You don't attack it, you don't defend yourself against it, right? That's how you keep it dark. Can you see? No, you shine your light, right? Like you said, don't hide your light under bushels. Shine your light in front of your brother. You be your brother's reminder of what he has forgotten, right? You stand for the alternative. That's your function here. Your function is to be the light of the world. Can you see? So that is, boy, I know many of you out there who are assuming and have assumed this function know exactly what I'm talking about. That there is nothing that is more beautiful and emotional and joyous than assuming your function that you came here for. Because that's the only function you have. Your function is not to, you know, make a nice, beautiful life for yourself in separation and accumulate meaningless things. That's not your function. And to keep denying who you are, no, your function is to be happy. The light becomes ours, and you cannot abide in darkness any more than darkness can abide wherever you go. The remembrance of me is the remembrance of yourself and of him who sent me to you. I love that, right? You were in darkness until God's will was completely done by any part of the sonship. Now, notice that he talks in past tense here. You were in darkness. What is he stating here? That you're no longer. In truth, you are no longer in darkness, right? Because what? This is over. You gotta get to the point that you accept that this is over, right? It's over. You've done it. You were mistaken. You've gone into the darkness thinking that this was real, and now you come out of it, and now you go like, oh, I remember. And now you're over, and now you're living for a moment in time, in the overness of time, if that makes any sense, right? You're aware that it's over, and yet for a moment it still seems to go on because what? You're fulfilling your function. Okay, you've accepted your function, and for a moment, right? Love it. Love it. What a great idea. When this was done, it was perfectly accomplished by all. Again, past tense. Why? It's over. You see? How else could it be perfectly accomplished? My mission was simply to unite the will of the sonship with the will of the Father by being aware of the Father's will myself. This is the awareness I came to give you. And your problem in accepting it is the problem of the world. Right? Let's face it, this is a course in brutal honesty. Way more honesty than you've been used to up till this point. You have a problem of accepting it, right? Okay? Be honest, right? Otherwise, if you're not willing to be honest, right, you can't make any progress. You're going to have to look at your own denial for a moment. Can you see? And he says, well, that's the problem of the world. That's its problem, right? Dispelling it is salvation, and in this sense, I am the salvation of the world. The world must therefore despise and reject me, because the world is the belief that love is impossible. Well, of course, right? Again, you always go back to whether you read A Course in Miracles or the New Testament, when he said, if the world had rejected me, remember, or rejected you, remember that it rejected me first, right? If the world hated you, remember that they hated me first, right? You cannot have both. If the world is denial of truth, of course they're going to reject you. Of course, if you're going to walk into a place and say, I'm the light of the world, they're going to just laugh at you. What? It's the rejection, and you put it there, right? In your awakening, you're aware now suddenly of the fact that, wait, I put that there. There isn't a world apart from what I wish. These are my thoughts projected outwards. And my function now is not to condemn it, but to forgive it. Because recognizing it for what it is, which is the rejection of who you truly are. Beautiful. If you will accept the fact that I'm with you, you are denying the world and accepting God. My will is His, and your decision to hear me is the decision to hear His voice and abide in His will. I smile. I cannot not. I read these lines and I just get incredibly happy within my mind because I know this to be true. Can you see my mind lights up? It's joy because it resonates into a frequency that is so not from here, right? The world is low frequency, low energy. But for those of you who know what I'm talking about, because you've raised your frequency sufficiently, you read this and you get happy. You cannot not, because it touches you in a place so deep that you know it's not of this world. As God has sent me to you, so will I send you to others, and I will go to them with you so we can teach them peace and union. What a beautiful idea that you've been given a function to light up the world. Well, it's your world. You're the only one who can do it. Can you see? Right? That's why you came here. You came here and you accepted that function before you got here. Can you see? And you brought the world with you when you came, and you will take the world with you when you leave, because there is no world apart from what you wish. I don't know how else um, to convey this. And if you go like, well, just got lost, don't worry about it, because truly what I'm talking about is an experience. Can you see? We're not talking about concepts, and there's no sense in trying to conceptually understand what I'm saying, because it's not conceptually understandable. Right? You can't understand this from your old mind. You have to raise your frequency enough and get into your new self, right? That resonates at a high enough frequency that this becomes obvious, right? And that's the invitation. The invitation is raise your frequency, right? The invitation is the practice of these new ideas that bring about that shift in thought in you, that allows for the light of truth to be ignited in your mind, and the certainty of source to be yours. Hmm? That's the offering. And yes, I use A Course in Miracles, but you don't have to use A Course in Miracles. You can do it with anything. The reason that I use A Course in Miracles is, I guess, because it was given me, right? It's my tool for bringing this about. It was given to me in my personal, and I want to be careful with the word journey, because finally there isn't one. But let's call it journey for a moment, in my personal process, if you will. But the reason I like it so much is because it's fast, right? There's no need for years of meditation or lifetimes of meditation or contemplation or who knows what. What I like is the utilization of the miracle to collapse time to save yourself thousands and thousands of years and accomplish what can just be really accomplished in just 1 second. You see? That's what I like about it. And it speaks to me. It resonates with me on a place that I can't even describe. So, I, thank you for joining me today. It was good to see you. I hope you're having a great day wherever and whenever you are. And I'll see you out there.